And I'll spend about 20 minutes on each one. Psych. Psych. Look at verse 24. First thing is, if you want to create an environment in which those who oppose themselves are able to hear God, the first thing is, the servant of the Lord must not strive. That word there means fight, war, wrestle. See, now this is really important because self-opposed people have warfare inside of them. And that warfare has spilled out from their spirit man into the rest of their lives. And because that warfare is, for the lack of a better term, spillable, you know, there's seepage there. When you get into their presence, that warfare is likely to seep into your life. That's why Proverbs says, make no friendship with an angry man, and with a brawling man thou shalt not go. Why? Lest thou learn his ways and get a snare onto your soul. So the first thing, you've got to realize that self-opposed people are constantly involved in inner turmoil and conflict, and that inner turmoil and conflict is, it can very easily reach out and grab you and get a hold of you. And once it latches on to you, now you're ensnared just like they are. And so it says, and so Paul says, first thing you got to do is create an environment where there's no warfare. Don't fight. And you know, when your child wants to go off and do his own thing, what are you inclined to do right away? Start fussing at him. Now, I said this is what you're going to do, and you're going to do this because I said I'm your mother, I'm your father, and you're going to do this. And if they talk back, what are you talking about? Don't let me have to. Hello. Is this true? Am I talking right? And so it's so easy to get sucked into warfare with a self-opposed person. Don't fight. No warfare. That's the first rule in this environment that we're constructing. And so if you want to be a true servant of the Lord and you want to help somebody who's opposed to themselves, every time you see the invitation to a fight, this is what you're going to do. And that means you've got to have some self-mastery. That means you've got to be able to put down the flesh, because the flesh wants to jump in the fight. But you've got to stomp that flesh down and say, flesh, you will obey me. Your flesh ought to be subject to your spirit rather than your spirit subject to your flesh. Hello, somebody. Oh, I heard you. Dang, he just threw that handkerchief on the ground, now he picked it up and wiped his face. So, no fighting. Second thing, servant of the Lord must not strive, but, this is the next thing, but be gentle unto all men. Not only must you refuse to fight, but you've got to be gentle. You've got to be nice, soft, gentle. How you doing now? You got to be gentle. You got to be soft, like a teddy bear. And one of the tragedies in our world, and especially in our church, is that there's not enough gentleness. Because, you know, there's so many people flying off in the flesh and getting upset and want to stand on their rights and all of this stuff, that they lose the capacity for gentleness, and that fruit of the Spirit gets tossed in the garbage can. The gentleness is the fruit of the Spirit.